Hi everyone, welcome back to Data Analysis with Dr. Veronica YouTube channel. In this video, we will talk about data entry forms in Microsoft Excel without the use of VBA. So we will learn how to create data entry forms in Microsoft Excel. We will also see how to use data entry forms to enter new data, and we will use data entry forms to search for information. Most of the time, you set up a system on Excel and you hand it over to somebody who is like a beginner in Excel, and you're trying to minimize errors in data entry, because most of the issues we have in Excel is errors that it's coming up from the data entry process. So we will see how to create data entry forms so that we can minimize the errors that come from data entry, standardize our tables, and get the best out of Microsoft Excel. If this is your first time of stopping by my YouTube channel, you're welcome. And if you want to get good knowledge about Microsoft Excel, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Give me a thumbs up in this video and let me hear in the comment section what you think about the video. Also, hit the notification bell so that our upcoming videos, you will get notified about them. So let us get started. This data that we have right here is a summary of monthly expenses report from January to March 2023. And we can see the data being entered, and these are the column headers, which I'm just going to put in bold. So we want a system, or we want to create a form where anyone can enter the remaining part of the information. Let us say that we have more expenses like internet, we have another expense like security fees, and we have tons of expenses, right? And we want this information to be entered in a standard format using the same column headers in Microsoft Excel. So how do we get to do this in a very standard way and enter the information that is required for all the columns? One of the easiest way to do this is to use data entry forms. Okay, data entry forms are easy to use, and it gives you efficiency in data entry, gives you what you want, and it's also flexible because you can use data entry forms and to get specific information entered into your table as you would desire. So the first thing to consider when you want to use data entry forms is that you must convert your data set to a table. You must format it as a table in Microsoft Excel. And how to do this, you can format your data set as a table in two ways. The first one is to first of all select a cell within the range of cells of your data set that you want to convert to a table, and then you just use the shortcut Control T on your keyboard, T for table, right? And then you're going to see this dialog box pop up, and from this dialog box, of course, you have the opportunity to double check to see that all your data have been captured. And Excel is asking, my table has headers. Of course, my table has headers, so I'm going to leave this checkbox. But if you untick this checkbox, what will happen is that Excel will create default column headers for you, which may not give you exactly what you have right here, because it's just going to name the column headers column 1, column 2, column 3, and it's not going to give it specific names. So in this particular example, my column has headers. So I am going to leave this checkbox ticked and I will click on OK. And this is what I have. Automatically, my data set has been converted to a table. Okay, so this is how creating a form works, because the form is linked. The form is linked to the table. And of course, if I want to change the way the table looks, change the style of the table, I have the options right here saying table styles. I can even click on the drop down right here to see more options like medium, medium colored options, and even darker shade of colors. But I'm just going to stick to the default um, option provided to me by Microsoft Excel, and I am going to proceed. Now, in this case, after the table has been created, how do we activate the form? Because if you check the ribbons right here, there is no you will not find any of the options or any button or any group where the forms tab is in. So in Microsoft Excel, you have the option of creating a form, but the form icon is not visible on the ribbon. So you need to add this manually. In my own example, that you can see right here, when I click on this contextual tab called table design, you would see that I already have this set up for me. This is because I set it up before this class, but I'm going to go through how this was actually set up. Okay, so to set up to put the form functionality in the ribbon, which is table design, one of the to do this, basically you just need to go click on file, and of course click on options. And when you see the options, the Excel options dialog box show up, you come right here and you click on customize ribbon, because what we want to do is to customize the table design ribbon to include the form icon so that we can create a form in Microsoft Excel. So these options that you see right here, from this place where you have choose commands from, you click on the drop down right here and you select all commands. After selecting the all commands, okay, so I'm just going to do that again, all commands, and you can see a lot of commands showing up. Most of these commands are not readily visible on the ribbons, on the ribbon in Microsoft Excel, but of course it is embedded in Excel. And all the commands are arranged alphabetically, so we know that we're looking for forms, so we just scroll right down to where we have F and C. Okay, so right here I've gotten to the section for the alphabet F, and right here I can see form, so I just select on form, and here you have add. Okay, you can add this, but before adding that, we see in this on the right section, okay, we can see background removal, we can see all other ribbons, but I cannot see the table design ribbon. So we are going to also pull out the table design ribbon just like this. So you click on this section that you have customized the ribbon, you click on the drop down underneath and you see all tabs. So I am going to select all tabs, and I am going to see all the tabs, even the tabs that pop up only when you have certain functions in Microsoft Excel. So for example, when you open a pivot chart, you're going to see this tab, pivot chart tools, pop up only when you activate your pivot chart. So by selecting all tabs, I am able to see all the ribbons, okay, all the tabs, both the contextual ones and the ones that are usually fixed in Microsoft Excel. And I'm going to scroll right down to go to table tools, and clicking on this greater than sign that I have just right here under table tools opens up other options for me. So now I can of course choose to add the form icon to table design. Okay, and I'm just going to click on add, and it says here commands need to be added to custom groups. To create a group, pick a tab in the list, then create new group. Okay, so I am picking this tab, table tools, I'm picking this tab rather, table design, and I will create a new group. Okay, but in the event, in this situation, we can see that I already created a new group, and I am going to take it out so that we can start afresh. So now I've taken out the form from the table design tab, and I want to add it back to the table design tab. So first of all, I select the tab name, which is table design, and I click on new group. Okay, and the new group, it says here new group custom. I can change the name of the group to whichever name that I want it to be. And how to do that is to click on the new group and click on rename. So I click on rename, and the display name says new group, but I am going to change it to form, right? Or just forms. And I click on OK. So this is what I have. I have renamed my new group, and I want to add this form to the group that I just created in the table under the table design tab. So I'm going to, first of all, we can see that the form is highlighted, and we can also see that the forms, which is the new group, is also highlighted. So I click on add, and this is what I have. So the form functionality have been added to the forms group that I just created. Okay, and I am going to click on OK to make this happen. And if you see on my table design contextual tab right here, you can see the form that has been created. Okay, and the name of the group is forms. Okay, so I can actually move this, just in case you're not very comfortable with the fact that the form is at the at the extreme right. I can move this group to show up maybe after properties or after tools. And how to do this? Of course, you go back to click on file, and you click on options and customize ribbon. And of course, I'm going to select all tabs right here to have all the tabs show up. And I am going to also go down to table design, like so. Okay, table tools, and the greater than sign under table design, I'm going to open that up, and I select the forms. Okay, I select the forms group that I just created recently, and I am going to use this up arrow to move it up. Okay, just like this. By clicking on this, we can see that the forms group is moving up. So I want to place it immediately after properties, and I am going to click on OK, and let us see. Just with the click of some buttons, we can see that the forms group have been placed just after properties. So this is how to activate the form on your Microsoft Excel, because it does not come up automatically. The second way to make sure your form shows up is to put it to the quick access toolbar. Okay, here we customized the ribbon to include the form in the table design tab, but we can also add the form to our quick access toolbar, and we are going to do that right away. So to add your form to the quick access toolbar, and just to also to add to this video that my version of Microsoft Excel is Microsoft 365, so my quick access toolbar is not showing up here, but this is where my quick access toolbar is showing up. So I'm going to just right click and click on Customize Quick Access Toolbar, and it takes me to this same dialog box that we had while we were trying to customize the ribbon. So I am going to first of all click on the drop down where we have choose commands from, and I am going to select all commands so that we can have the form command can also be visible. So while that is coming up, all commands is coming up, and it's already up. And just like we had while customizing the ribbon, all the commands are arranged alphabetically. So I'm just going to scroll down to where I have F, C for forms, and here we go. So this is the form that we have using the quick access toolbar option as well. So here is form, right? And I'm going to click on add, and we can see that the form icon has immediately moved to the right side of the screen where we have Customize Quick Access Toolbar. Now, also from this drop down, we have, by clicking on the drop down, I have two options. The first one is for all documents, which is the default setting, and the second one is for data entry forms file. So if I choose the second option, it means that my form icon will be added to the quick access toolbar only for this file that I am working on. But when I select for all documents, which is the default setting, by the way, we will see that the form icon will be added to the quick access toolbar for all the versions, like all the Microsoft Excel files or workbooks that we have, and even new ones that we are going to set up or to open. So I have this for all the documents default. I'm going to leave it at the default stage, and I come down here to click on OK. And let us see. So the quick access toolbar now has the form icon as well, making it very easy to refer to, because this is the purpose of having the quick access toolbar. You have an opportunity to see your icons very quickly and use them very quickly. Microsoft Excel, both in the ribbon and also in the quick access toolbar. So while we're going ahead with this video, please give us a thumbs up and drop a comment in the comment section what you'd like to see. And if this is your first time of stopping by this channel, please subscribe. Okay, so I'm going to just click on the form right now. And this is the data entry form that we have in Microsoft Excel. We can see here that it's showing us based, right here we have the column headers, which are the expenses, Jan 2023, February 2023, and March 2023. And then we have inputs. We have inputs, or we have data for the first row, okay, which is the cost of goods sold, and we have all the data for the different months as is written out. Okay, so here also we have 1 of 4. This means that we have 4 rows of data, and this is the first row. So this information that we have here is the first row, and we can of course scroll down right here, and it takes us to 2 of 4, which the next one is salaries, and these are the figures that we have for the salaries. Of course, I can scroll down again to 3 of 4, and this is what I have, and scroll down to 4 of 4. So let's assume that we want to impute new data. What do? What we do is we click on new, okay, and here it says new record. So we are trying to add a new record. And in this case, like I said before, the list of the expenses, we are going to add internet. And for January 2023, let's say we spent $20 or 20 Nigerian naira. And for February 2023, we spent 30 Nigerian naira. And for March, we spent 25 Nigerian naira. So how to enter this information on your expense report, how to update this, is just to click enter on your keyboard, and we can see that this information is updated automatically. So we add another record, so I can just click on new here to add a new record. And let us say for this one, it's security fees. Okay, in January 2023, we did 100 Nigerian naira. In February, it was say 125, and in the month of March, it was 110. Okay, and to, of course, to update is just to hit enter on your keyboard, and we can see right here several buttons like restore. Here we can do some edits, okay, and We can also find previous, find next. We're going to go through all of this, and I just click the enter button on my keyboard. So let us go back to the data that we had previously, and I'm just going to do that by scrolling right here. And let me see cost of goods sold. Let me just add sold out, right? So I'm trying to edit this information, cost of goods sold out. And I would click on restore to see what happens. So restore takes back the information to what it was before it was edited. And of course, the restore button works very perfectly before you hit the enter button on your keyboard. Every time you update the data entry form and you hit the enter button, it means you have registered that information in your table. And another thing that we saw was that our table right here expanded to include the additional set of information that was updated with the data entry form. The data entry form, like I mentioned earlier, is linked to your table, and this is why it's very key to format your data set as a table before you activate your data entry forms. Okay, so this is what I have, cost of goods sold out. Okay, and I'm just going to hit the enter button, and we can see right here that this information has been updated automatically. Now, let us see what we can do with um, doing a search. Okay, so we can do a search on using the data entry form on our data set. Okay, so by doing a search, I'm just going to click on criteria. Okay, and you can input your criteria. You can use any of the column headers to do that. You can run a search using the expense name, using the each of the months, okay, using the values, right? And you can even, you have the leverage of doing a greater than. So let us say that we are looking for expenses for the month of January 2023 that is greater than 1,000 naira. So I'm just going to do here the greater than sign, 1,000, and I am going to hit enter on my keyboard, and the data entry form has just pulled out this information for me. Okay, let's do that again. Criteria greater than 1,000, and I'm going to click on find previous. Okay, so this is the information that we have for January 2023. Okay, cost of goods sold was more than 1,000 naira, and this is why I have this popping out. So I'm going to click on find next. Find next is not giving me any information, and right here it says 1 of 6. Find next is not giving me any information because on my data set, and for the month of January 2023, which was the focus of the criteria, I do not have any other expense that is above 1,000 naira for January 2023. So this is why I'm having Excel make this sound that it's making right now. So it's making like a beep sound to tell you that I cannot find any more information like you're asking me to find. Okay, so this is what we have, and I can of course click on enter to enter new information. So let us close the data entry form, and this is what we have. I'm going to go to the next worksheet so that we can practicalize again and have even a wider range of examples. For this particular example, we have this data set right here, but it's not formatted as a table yet. Okay, regardless of this beautiful format that we see here, this is not formatted as a table in Microsoft Excel. And how do you know this? When you select a cell inside the range of data set that you have, and you do not see the table design contextual tab coming up, it means that this is not formatted as a table. So we are going to first format this data set as a table before we can use data entry forms on it. In the previous example, we saw how to convert a data set to a table using the shortcut key Control T. In this particular example, we would use the table format as table icon on the home tab. So I just select randomly any cell in the range of data set and format as table. I click on the drop down and I have three options come up for me. I have light, medium, and dark. So these are just different shades of color format that may appeal to the user. So I do not want a dark one. Okay, let's just see what happens if we go for the dark one. Selecting the dark one, I have the small dialog box that says create table. Okay, where is the data for your table? This is just for you to double check to ensure that all your data sets have been captured in the table. And of course, my table has headers, so I am going to allow this checkbox to be ticked and I will click on OK. So this is what I have by selecting um the dark. Okay, this is the one I selected. So this is what I have. I want something really light, so I'm just going to go for a lighter shade option, and this is what I have. So this has been formatted as a table. And of course, on my quick access toolbar, I have the form icon already. So I'm just going to click that. And this is the data entry form that has popped up. Okay, this is having more this is having, of course, more column headers than the previous one, which had just 4 column headers. This has more. Okay, so this is why I said before that your data entry form is linked to your table, which is formatted. Now we have retailer, invoice date, state, product, region, price per unit, unit sold, total sales, and operating profit. Okay, so let us try. Of course, you know how to add new information to your table using the data entry form, and let us see how to delete. So right now I have this information which says 1 of 101. 1 of 101 means the first row out of 101 rows that has information. Of course, this is um minus the column headers, and I'm going to click right here on delete. It says that displayed record will be permanently deleted. So you need to be careful. Do we need to delete this or not? For the purposes of illustration, we are going to delete that. And we can see that that particular line of information, the row, has been deleted automatically. And here we have 1 of 100. And Excel prompted you to say it's deleted automatically. So we're not expecting to find that information anywhere. This is why you need to be careful before you delete. So I have this, and like I said, I can scroll down right here to see different rows of information. And just like of course, you can edit any of the information right here, and you hit the enter button on your keyboard. So I'm going to add data validation to this table, okay, so that we see how this works with data validation activated on a table and using data entry forms to practice. We can see that in column B, which is the invoice date, we just have dates, and I'm going to use the data validation to restrict the inputs for the invoice date to specifically dates only. So I click on data and I come here to data tools, click on the drop down, go to data validation. And in this case, I am going to choose any value. I'm clicking on what to allow, but I'll close this. And first of all, select this column. Okay. So I select this column, the column B, invoice date. I click on the drop down, go to data validation, and I want to allow only date. So I'm going to choose only date. Start date will be 1/1/2020, 2020 up to 31st 12 or 2022. Okay, So I am going to click on OK. It says the date you entered for the end date is invalid, and this is because Microsoft Excel enters the month first before enters the month before the day. Okay, which is what we're going to do right here. So 31, and I'm going to put that, and let us see. So this has worked. Okay, so this has been using data validation. I will restrict the entry for this particular column to strictly dates. So let us go back to our form and see. Let us go back to our form and see how this works. So for the I'm trying to enter new information, and for the invoice date I'm going to put a date before 2020, which is 1/2 2019, and let me see, hit the enter button on my keyboard. Okay, so this is the error message that I have. This value doesn't match the data validation restrictions defined for this cell. So I'm just going to click on retry, and let's see 2021. I click on and I hit the enter button on my keyboard, and we see that this information has been updated. Okay, now we can see that of course we have seen that we can add data validation restrictions to certain columns, which gives even more efficiency to data entry, most especially when you present this file to somebody who has um, basic knowledge in Microsoft Excel. You can do some restrictions so that you can enhance efficiency in your data collection or data entry process. I hope that you liked the content of this video, and I hope that you've learned how to do data entry, how to create the form, data entry form, how to add it to your ribbon and also to the quick access toolbar. I also believe that you have learned how to delete a row of data, how to restore, how to use the criteria function to search for information on your table. And I believe that you've also learned how to embed data validation restrictions to your table using and also how this will work on your data entry form. So please give me a thumbs up in this video and subscribe to this YouTube channel. And if you have no knowledge at all about Microsoft Excel and you want to learn everything about Microsoft Excel, you are in the right channel. So for this reason, hit the notification bell so you will be notified when new videos are posted to this YouTube channel. See you in another video, and the practice file for this video is in the link in the description box. So do well to download the practice file so you can practice as you watch the video. See you in the next video.